Most of you already probably know this, but my name's Ananya, and I'm 17 years old. And today, I'm going to tell you who I am. And by the way, if I keep looking down here, it's because my laptop's here, my script is here. So, just going to look there. So, let's start with childhood. I'd say I had a pretty great childhood. I was a happy kid. I didn't need much. I had my family, and I had my best friend. My parents had a hard life growing up, but they never made it hard for me. They are the kindest, most loving people I know, and they did everything they could to give me the best, most fun childhood I could ask for. The other two people, my best friend and my sister, are the people I spent every second of my life with. A lot of people think that the relationship between my sister and I is weird because we rarely fight. People will say, oh, it must be because we're more mature now since we're older, that we don't fight, but we've always been this way. Any fight I had with my sister never lasted long, and it was always about something minor. My sister was and continues to be one of my best friends, and even though she's busier nowadays, she still makes the effort to spend time with me, staying up until 2 a.m. to watch Camp Rock or taking the weekend to explore San Francisco with me. Her friendship has always been a constant throughout my life. The same didn't hold true, however, for my other best friend. We had been best friends since we were in kindergarten, and at first we were inseparable. We lived 5 houses down from each other, which made it easy for us to spend all of our time together. We shared everything and every moment with each other. We stayed this close for almost 10 years. Though I made other friends as the years went by, we stayed inseparable throughout elementary and middle school. But this all changed when I reached 9th grade. 9th grade was emotional, to say the least. It was the year my sister moved away to college. It was the year I realized I was bi, and it was the year I drifted apart from my best friend. It wasn't anyone's fault. We simply grew apart. We began having different interests and confiding in different friends. And one day I realized that this person who I had spent over half my life with had just become another face that I waved at in the hallway. I felt alone. My sister was having a rough time adjusting to college and needed to focus on doing so she had less time to spend with me. And my mom had just gotten a full-time job, and so I found myself alone in the house a lot more often. And I came to terms with my bisexuality, but I knew no one else who was like this, so that just made me feel isolated as well. And then there was the whole drifting apart thing. There were just so many things in my life that had changed that made me feel like I was alone, and at the time, I thought this loneliness was because nobody liked me or needed me anymore. I have this need to be needed and liked that I still struggle with today, and so the idea that nobody needed or liked me made me feel useless. I began having thoughts about ending my own life. Thankfully, I never went so far as to act on my thoughts, but every day I thought about the different ways that I could. But luckily, I eventually got better. I think journalism was one of the biggest things that helped me. Finally, I had found a community where I felt like I belonged, and I felt needed again. I made tons of new friends who helped me to feel less lonely and distracted me from my thoughts. But even here, my shadow lingered. Journalism has taught and given me so much and helped me place me in a much healthier state of mind. But I still worried that my friends, the friends that I had made, were going to leave me someday. I said before that I had this need to be liked, and I think that need is the cause of this fear. I don't feel like there's anything about me that people could possibly like. So I go around trying to please people and be the happiest person they know because I feel like that's the only way I can convince them to be my friend. It's the reason why I rarely say no to anyone or anything. The reason why I always try to be the peacemaker, and the reason why I always try to stay happy. I fear that if I don't, I'll lose my friends, and if if I lose my friends, I'll be lonely, and I do not want to be lonely. As I prepare to go off to college, I sometimes worry that the friends that I've made here will drift away. But I've learned a couple important lessons throughout my life, and I'll just list them off. One is that it's okay if they drift away. It might hurt, but I'll always be able to make new friends, and I'll always have the memories that I made with these old friendships. Two, I need to stop questioning whether my friends like me or not. Your friends are taking the time to hang out with you and talk to you. They must have a reason to do so. So instead of trying to find that reason, it's better to just live in the moment and enjoy their company. Three is no matter what, I will always have my family. Even if my friends come and go, my family is forever. They love me no matter what, and whether they like it or not, they're stuck with me. And finally, I know I've said a lot in this video and you might not remember any of it, but this is my main message. There is a lot to live for. There was a time in my life where I thought the only reason to live was for others. But now I know there's so much more. I have my own dreams and passions that I'm excited to pursue, and I have family and friends who have taught me to love others but still love myself. Even if I feel like I'm alone, I'm not. My name's Ananya, and I'm 17 years old. I'm insecure, I'm weird, I'm needy, but most of all, I'm really happy. That was cringy.